Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Long time no talk. I wanted to do a very quick video on like cruise recap, what we thought of our cruise, regrets, tips, tricks, all the things on our cruise that we took last September. It's now April. You know, the number one thing people get, and it's an obvious question, is price. Disney Cruise Line is going to be one of the more expensive cruise lines. We wanted to do it for many reasons. One, when we took our kids, our oldest decided not to go. He had already moved out by then. The kids that we took, Aubrey had just turned 16 in September. We went September like 21st. She turned 16 September 1st. Casey was getting ready to turn 14. He turned 14 the week we got back. And Eliana turned 11 the week we got back. This was the perfect age for them. We knew that we didn't want to do Norwegian because we just did not feel like there was going to be enough for the kids. We were debating Royal and Disney. We've been doing Disney World vacations for a super long time. The kids love Disney World. We know Disney World, but they had asked me, can we try to do something different? Like they were kind of like burnt out of the parks. I understand it. I was burnt out of the parks. And so we wanted something that gave us a little bit of familiarity, but was something different. And then we had kept making this cruise and then having to push it back. And so, you know, we originally had it scheduled and then Aubrey was hospitalized for 6 months. So we pushed it back. And then like recovering from the financial setback of all of that, we pushed it back. So many things. School, we would decide to put me first. And then in February of that year, I found out that my dad was really sick. And we looked at the cruise line again. We were getting ready to move it and we saw that there was a cruise. It was a itinerary that they do not do very often. Like right now, I think it's on there like 1 or 2 times for the next like 2 years for Disney Cruise Line. And it's stopping in St. Martin, one of my dad's favorite places in the entire world, in Puerto Rico where he lived. We were like, okay, this is it. We're going to make it happen. We're going to do it. It was super expensive. It was very, very expensive. However, I don't feel like we were robbed. I also feel like it was very transparent. Yes, when you immediately look at, okay, we're going to take a 7-night cruise on Royal, we're going to take a 7-night cruise on Disney, we're going to make sure they both go out of Port Canaveral, we're going to make sure that they're both, you know, better ships in the fleet, we are going to make sure that they go to someplace other than Nassau. When you look at that, yeah, you may be seeing quite a difference. Go ahead and add in a drink package, just a soda and water package for everyone in your family. See how much that adds to it. Go ahead and add in, you know, all these little nickel and diming, you know, get a few different restaurants. Yes, you can pay for like Palo, Remy, and Shante, all those on Disney Cruise Line, but you don't have to. Every other restaurant there is there for you and completely included in it. We personally did not feel like we were missing anything by not going to those, so we felt that the price was actually pretty comparable. Also, if you are a Disney family, go ahead and price out a Disney vacation at a moderate or a deluxe for the same amount of time with the dining plan, with you know, everything. It's pretty comparable. So for us, we were like, it's worth it to pay the Disney price. We felt like that was smart, especially because we were going, you know, a little bit further down to go to Puerto Rico and St. Martin. So we were going to have a few at sea days. So we wanted to make sure that there was plenty for us to do on the ship, because that was a problem Jeff and I had when we took our last cruise. Was we were bored out of our minds because we were on the Norwegian Dawn and there just was not enough to do on that ship. It was just, there was not enough to do. So yes, it is expensive. However, I think it holds its value greatly. We did cruise out of Port Canaveral. That was a super easy port to get to. It is very expensive to get down there for the toll roads, we will say, but tons of places to stay around there. We stayed at a Spring Hill Suites. We had 5 of us there, so you know, we are limited sometimes on the hotels that we pick, but super easy to get down there. We woke up that morning, had breakfast. We ran to Target because we needed a few things. We went to the Ranjan, which is the biggest Ranjan, kind of looked at Cocoa Beach, and then got on the ship. I will say our like time to get on was like 1:30, and we tried to get there like super close to that time. We were even a little bit past it You could probably get there earlier than we did. We read all these things saying they turn you away, they turn you away. I think that was old time because our time was like, I don't even remember what time it was. I want to say it was 1:30, and by the time we had got there, they were letting everybody in already. So definitely maybe get there a little bit early than what we did. It's seamless. Have, you know, all your stuff that you're going to be carrying on you physically on the ship, like maybe in the front of your car, so that it's ready to go. Make sure your bags are tagged, and then you pull up, they tell you what number to go to, a porter comes and helps you. We tipped per bag, we tipped $2 per bag, just because we had a lot of little bags, and I know that like it was kind of a pain for them because we had a lot of like gym bags and stuff like that, because that's just what we have. We don't have a lot of suitcases because my car is, I drive a 6-passenger SUV, but when we're all in there, it's just hard to get all those suitcases and luggage in there, so we travel with bags. But you know, they come and get it right away. But you know, that is something I'll say, is that I do wish we had gotten there a little bit earlier. I feel like we could have had more time exploring. We did eat breakfast, so we weren't like those people that were like starving for food, but like we wanted to explore all the things. We got on the ship and we were just like in awe. We were trying to figure out, you know, what to look at. And again, I just wish we had more time to kind of explore before getting to our room, because when you know the rooms are there, you want to get to your room and unpack and get everything ready before you go to the muster drill. Muster drill was kind of a pain. It was very unorganized, I felt. They were like telling us to line up, and we were there for a while, and for me, I wouldn't get there super early. I would get there a little bit less early than we did because we were just sitting there baking in the sun, and it was just miserable for everyone. Jeff was cranky, like it was just a really hard time. And at that time, Aubrey was like kind of freaking out because she's like, this is not going to be for me. I'm going to be so bored. I don't know where my other string went. And ironically, right next to us was another family. It was a mom and dad and a teenage girl, and like the girl had texted, like, or like wrote text on her phone and showed it to Aubrey and saying something like, your outfit's really cute or something like that. That girl and Aubrey ended up hanging out the whole time on the cruise. So it's like kids are everywhere. Just be open and ready for it. Like it's a lot of fun. So embarkation day is crazy, and I think that's going to be no matter what cruise line you are on. But I felt like once we stepped on that ship, like it just went like this, and I was like, I'm so happy because, you know, we were going to see my dad. We were going to take the kids on a first cruise, but like I just felt like there was something for all of them, and like they were already enjoying it. Rotational dining, I loved it. I thought it was great. We got to eat at every restaurant twice, one restaurant 3 times. If you can afford a 7-night cruise, do it. It's really hard now because I love the Fantasy. The Fantasy is an amazing ship. Right now you have the Wish only doing 3 and 4 nights, and you're really only going to go to Nassau or Castaway. Pretty soon the Fantasy is going to be getting more of like 5-day itineraries. And the Treasure is going to 7 days, and the Treasure is a new ship, so it is really expensive. I will say we would definitely do the Fantasy again. My kids don't really care about trying all the ships, which I think is funny. They just love ports. They want to go to different ports, and they're not super thrilled on going to Nassau. So that is one thing I don't love about Disney Cruise Line, is I don't feel like they have a wide variety of itineraries. And I wish that they would like change it up a little bit and just add more like 5, 6, 7-night cruises. A lot of the like 5 and 6-night cruises are doing like double dips between like Castaway and the new Lighthouse Point, and then like Nassau, which it is what it is. You know, we were going to go on a cruise this fall on the Fantasy again, and it was going to be Cozumel, which Grand Cayman, and Jamaica. Our plans have changed. We're not going to be able to do a cruise this fall anymore. We're going to most likely do it like next spring break, next winter break. But we will for sure be back. And that is something I don't love, is their itineraries and dates and stuff. I just feel like it's hard. We want to be on a longer cruise. I cannot see us enjoying a 4-night. And if we did a 4-night, I would want to do a 4-night and a 3-night together back to back, just because we loved being on that ship. We felt relaxed. We didn't feel like we needed a vacation after our vacation. We did not want to get off the ship at 7 days. Like, you know how sometimes at the end of your Disney trip, you're like, oh my God, I want to get back home. We did not feel that way. We felt the food was like different every time. Like even the times that we went to the same restaurant, it was different. We had different choices. So it was just, it's so well thought out, and like you don't really have to think about anything. You know, you can go and change your dining. We didn't feel the need to. I loved Animator's palette. I just thought it was so bright and welcoming and fun. We only got to be there twice and Casey was sick one time. I think if I could pick again, I would do that one maybe 3 times. That's just me. We went to Enchanted Garden twice, and I wish we could have had 3 nights there too. One of our nights was Pirate Night there. I just like that menu over, I'm running a complete blank on the last one. The last one is like French inspired. It's a little bit more fancy and we just didn't love it there. We also skipped our dining the last night. We just were kind of over it and we had like food on the pool deck. We just wanted to walk around and enjoy it more. There is so much to do on that ship. I wish we did more and I still feel like we did a ton. There are so many things we missed out on, but like go to the movies, go to all the shows. The shows are amazing. We went to every single of the Broadway shows. We went to watch Little Mermaid in the movie theater. Like all the shows were amazing. Like, and I was like, Jeff and Casey are not gonna love this. They loved it. One night Aubrey went and sat with the friends that she made for it. Like there is so much to do. We we didn't do any trivia just because I didn't feel like we weren't trivia people. Like we don't know enough stuff. Like it would be fun to watch. We didn't do any tastings because at the time I can't drink alcohol. Aubrey did like a towel making class. Ellie went down to the kids club to do a few different things. Casey went down to the kids club to do a few different things. Ironically, Aubrey had the most fun, met the most people in her kids club. She lived there. She was there all the time, and if she wasn't, she was walking around the cruise ship with people that she met there. Casey went a few times. He said his was lame. Ellie was in the Oceaneer Club at the time and she was not a fan. She felt like she was too old for it. The next time that we go, Casey and Aubrey would be together and Ellie would be in the one that Casey was in. She's not super thrilled about that, but in saying that, I thought, okay, my kids are gonna ditch. They're not gonna wanna be near us. The little two were with us nonstop. They wanted to be with us all the time. We were constantly on the pool deck, going on the aqueduct, going to all the little things, like the little, you know, Animation Academy, this, that, everything. Just walking around and seeing all the characters, walking around the ship and just seeing how beautiful it was, playing mini golf, being on the sports court, like so many things to do. We were never bored, and like if we were, we would just like go back to our room and put on a Disney movie. Like it was so much fun. We did have 2 rooms. We had a balcony room that was just supposed to be for Jeff and I, and Aubrey had the inside stateroom. The inside stateroom was supposed to be for all 3 kids. I want to say Casey slept in there 1 or 2 nights. Ellie slept in there 1 night and they slept with us the rest of the time. So Aubrey kind of had her own room. If you can afford that, do it. It is nice to have 2 spaces to get together. It is nice that even if our kids slept in a room, all of their stuff was in that room. So we didn't feel like we were like overcrowded or whatever. And the room was literally like 1 stateroom down and around the corner. Like it was right there. We have older kids, so we trust them. We were fine in it. And like I would just go in and check in all the time with them. The only thing I do wish to say is that like Jeff and I could have taken them out, because like Aubrey, Casey, and Jeff had to get off the boat together and get back on the boat together, and then Ellie and I had to get off and get back on together, and that was sometimes a little bit sketchy. Like one time Aubrey wanted to come off with me and everyone else wanted to stay on, and we couldn't do that. Like it was kind of a nightmare. But like the 2 room situation was great. I would totally do it again. I also would, if I knew that like money was tight, I would go and stay in 1 big room and we'd figure it out. I think 7 nights in 1 room together might get a little bit tight and sketchy, and you might get a little bit irritated with everybody, but I don't know, that's just me. Being on the starboard side, I think is the best side to be on because of how you are pulling into ports. It's just beautiful, especially at Castaway. Castaway is heaven on earth. Like I would go back there. I would go to do a triple stop, double stop every single day you're at Castaway. I would pay money for a cruise like that. Like the cruises that have like the 1 stop at Castaway, 1 stop at Lighthouse Point, and then 1 at Nassau, I would do in a heartbeat. But the kids are like, they just don't want to go to Nassau. They love the fact that we have these like beautiful Caribbean exotic islands. Like that's what they love about cruising, and so I understand, I get it. But we're like kind of battling right now, like just the cost of like the Treasure versus like a 5-night on the Fantasy, you know what I mean? So we're kind of in that boat. One thing I do regret, I do wish that we bought the photo package. That is a regret I will always have. They took so many great pictures and I don't have any of them, and I hate that. I do have some on my phone. Some places they wouldn't take them with your phone, I don't think. No, maybe they did. I don't know. But that is a regret I wish I did. We did a excursion through Disney Cruise Line at Castaway, but we did not do it for either of the ports, and I think that's just based on where you go. St. Martin, we knew there was a beach that we wanted to go to. It was like a $7 ferry ride, so we did that. We would never go to that beach again. It was so like hassly that it just drove us crazy. Like the next time we would do something, like we would pay for an excursion that was like maybe going up more into the island, driving around, doing like a ropes course, something like that. Puerto Rico, we had my dad picked us up, and we rented a car, and just my dad drove us around all day, and we just hung out with my dad. We had lunch, we went to a beach, we did all the things. That was perfect. Honestly, if you could find a way to do that, like hire somebody to take you around, that's like the best way to do it. And then in Castaway, we did the stingray encounter, and that was amazing. Had no issues with that. We did wait until the end to prepay our gratuities, and that was just stupid. We should have done it beforehand, and I always encourage my clients to do it, but I'm just like the worst. I'm the worst client for myself. Because at the end, you know, that did kind of stink of having that little extra money. Buy gift cards. It's totally worth it to have them there. The shops are great. And like somebody told me, like once you're on, it's it. But when we went to, I think St. Martin and Puerto Rico, it was different things. And even the Castaway day, like, so go in there every day if you like Disney merch. You might be surprised with what you find. We did buy a few things there and we enjoyed them. You know, characters do just kind of pop up. The first night that you're there, they're offering free drinks in the lobby. Get there early and enjoy a free drink. Characters do pop up. There's like these random times where there's like a bunch of characters and they're dancing and they'll take a quick picture. Like, it's so cool. Like, I saw the Disney magic come back to my kids. My kids are parked out. They do not want to go back to Disney World. You know, Casey wants to go to like Ride Tron. They do want to see Moana, but like, it's not anything that they're like dying to go to right now. Like, they're parked out. I'm kind of parked out, to be honest. We did it a lot when they were younger. But the cruise was like getting that little piece of Disney magic that we love and that we're comfortable with, but like so much better, because we were also going to the Caribbean and seeing all these cool places and trying different foods, and you know, not worrying about like, oh no, you can't have that snack because it's $7. Like, just get whatever you want. Like, that was the cool side of being on the cruise line. There was not anything that I did not enjoy on the cruise line. Aubrey ended up getting Wi-Fi, and her and I kind of used it both, and I paid her a little bit of money for it, and it worked great when we needed it. You know, Aubrey and I were both taking college classes at the time, so we had to be on, and we had no issues with it. I didn't like upload or anything like that, but like we would scroll social media, be on our phone, check email, check our bank balance, check the cameras on the house, things like that, and it worked perfect for us. Uploading assignments, it was like perfectly fine. The pools, I didn't feel like got super crowded. We never waited more than like 35 minutes for the aqueduct. There's definitely times to do it. Movies out on the Funnel Vision is so cool. We really enjoyed that. We did get some treats from Penelope's, and we didn't feel like that was super expensive. It was not Penelope's. It's like something sweet treat. Is it Penelope's? I don't remember what it is on there. We had no issues with the food. I didn't love Cabana's food. A lot of the food is a little bit different to me, but it was fine. Churro waffles are like, oh, they were so good. So good. Room service is amazing. You just tip the people that bring you your food, and we would get Mickey bars all the time. The wait staff was amazing. We had Howard. Howard learned quickly that Casey can't cut his own food, and he always cut his food for him. They knew our drink orders. They knew that if we didn't love the desserts, they would go and get us Mickey bars because they knew that we wanted Mickey bars. Our wait staff there was amazing. The people that cleaned our room were amazing. They get to know us. It was so much fun. We did not do Disney ducks, but we found some Disney ducks, and we did do fish extending. I joined too many fish extender groups to the point that it was kind of overbearing for me to do it, to go down there, and then we got so much stuff to come back, and a lot of stuff like we didn't use or need, or it was just too much stuff. So I would definitely say to do fish extenders again, but like pare it down. Like, we don't need to do that many fish extenders because it was just too much. It was just too much Disney stuff. I don't know. It was just, we loved it. We fell in love with it. We loved Disney Cruise Line. Again, the only thing that's preventing us from going on one sooner is we just have some other trips planned, and you know, Disney Cruise Line and cruising in general is, you know, you do have to kind of prep and plan for it, and it can be costly. So we want to make sure that we do it right. We want to make sure that we have all the money to do the excursions and all the things that we want to. So we're thinking we're going to be on a Disney Cruise Line ship in either February or April of 2025 for our school breaks, because we just enjoyed it so much. I don't know if we're going to go out of Port Canaveral again, or if we'll go down to Fort Lauderdale and go on the Dream maybe. We do kind of want to stick to like the Dream, Fantasy, Wish, Treasure. It's not that I think that the Magic and the Wonder wouldn't have enough for us, but like the kids loved the Aqueduct. Like they loved it so much, and I don't think that they would enjoy a slide. Ellie did not do the Aqueduct. I really want to get her on it. She was just too afraid, but like I even got on it and I enjoyed it. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them for you. I am still a travel agent. People ask me all the time. I still am. I just don't like, I'm not pushy, because I understand the times, and I feel like it can be insensitive sometimes to be talking about travel all the time, because I do feel that in the economy that we're in right now, not everyone can travel, and I don't want people to think that I'm being pushy or insensitive or whatever. But you know, a Disney Cruise Line vacation works very much like a Disney vacation. You do have to have a little bit more of a deposit to put down, but you can make a deposit and make payments just like you do on a, you know, world vacation. I do like the fact that when it comes time for you to make your excursions, they don't have to be paid in full. You pay them in full whenever you're there. So, you know, you pay off your trip and you have a few months before you travel, so you can use that time to save up all your money for your excursions. And pre-book all these things. Definitely try to get the Princess Gathering 30 days out. I always tell my clients that. We enjoyed that. We met Cinderella, Mulan, Tiana, and Belle that day, and it was like bam, bam, bam. We all got pictures. The atrium was behind. It was super cool. Join Facebook groups. You can get into like the fish extenders that way. You can figure out what the dress up nights are that way. You can figure out so much information, so many cool tips on like excursions or whatever. If someone has an excursion and they're getting ready to get rid of it, they'll let people know there. Like, do it up. It's totally worth it. Like, I think that those Facebook groups hold so much value in them. But yeah, I mean, let me know if you have any questions. I would be glad to answer them, but we have no regrets. We loved it. The only thing we wish we did was get that picture package. It is expensive. It's like $300, but it's totally worth it. We loved the Fantasy. Beautiful ship, perfect size. The people on it were great. We stayed forward. No. Yes. We stayed forward. That is a complaint I had. Whenever you pull out at that elevator, if you're going up to like cabanas, the pool deck, anything, you come out of the adult area, and I felt like sometimes the adults were like, ugh, people going through, but it's like, listen, that's like that is the elevator for like 100 rooms, and we're literally just going through. The adult area can get a little bit wild. It kind of shocked me, like Disney adults kind of losing their minds, but I mean, they were having the time of their life. They enjoyed it. Do all the fun things. We did a Halloween on the High Seas cruise. We had, you know, trick-or-treating and the fun show. We did pirate night, and we had the fireworks. We watched the fireworks from our room. We had formal night, and they're all dressed up. We had semi-formal night, like all the things. Just, I would love to go on like a Christmas cruise with them one time. I really do want to go on the Wish. The kids are like, they want to do ports. That's their thing. Like, they really, really love ports. They really want to do like the Grand Cayman one. I want to do the Tortola St. Thomas one. So yes, this is not our last cruise. We will be going back on cruises. I will, now that I know, because I packed completely wrong and like had to repack and all these things. That's why I never posted those videos, because I just deleted them. But like, I will do a whole series on like packing, planning, fish extenders, all the things the next time we go, just because I feel like it's going to be just so much more. I don't know, like I know so much more now. Like, you know, I knew a lot. I felt selling it to people that were traveling, but now that I know like what worked for me, like there will definitely be videos. So that will probably, I mean, who knows, we could come into money, we could have a great year, and we could still go in September, but I don't think so. I think most likely we will be going in like February or April of next year, or maybe even May. We'll see what the kids want to do, because I do leave it up to them based on like what they want to do, because they already know what they want to do in all the places. We know we want to go to a certain beach in Grand Cayman. We know in Cozumel we're kind of iffy on, we can't figure out what we want to do there. We know in Jamaica we either want to go to a beach or go like in the forest. Which is why I said like, let's maybe go to the forest in Cozumel if there is one, or go like the Mayans or whatever. But yes, we will be back. Loved it. Like the best vacation we have had in a very long time. It brought back the Disney magic to us and we were just like, yes, like we haven't felt this in a really long time and we cannot wait to go back.